Again, I'm Dr. Vyas, founder of New Wave Wellness Center. And in this video, I'm taking on the topic of autoimmunity. You may have heard me talk about autoimmunity before, but this time, this past weekend, I was at a very interesting autoimmunity conference where I heard several doctors and numerous immunologists and researchers talk about what exactly is the cause of the rise of all these autoimmune conditions in the past decade. You may have seen, there's the MS and the Hashimotos and Crohn's, and there's a big rise in all these autoimmune conditions. So I'll talk to you about the 3 takeaways I had and what we can do or what we do in our office to help correct some of these things. All right, so let's start off with exactly what this whole autoimmune system or autoimmunity is. So we all know that the immune system is something in our bodies, is an innate ability in our body to help fight off any kind of foreigners that kind of invade our bodies. You get a bacteria, a parasite, something that kind of comes into your body launches an immune system. That's your white blood cell count, right? The white blood cells go up, and what they do is they attack these guys, get rid of the foreigners, and once that has happened, the white cell count goes back to normal. But now, with certain factors, which I'll talk about in just a second, what's happening is your immune system is staying at a very heightened alert. There are so many things that are causing our immune system to always stay at a very heightened alert, and when that happens, that sometimes triggers a little bit of a miscommunication, misinterpretation of certain things, and your immune system goes a little crazy, for lack of words. And what it starts doing is it starts attacking itself. It starts attacking our own body. It picks organs, it picks certain cells, it picks enzymes, things like that, and it starts creating an immune reaction towards that in the body. And that's how we end up with all these kind of different conditions. So what exactly is driving your immune system to go haywire? What is it causing it to suddenly go, hey, we're going to start attacking certain organs now in the body? So the 3 main factors that I took away from this thing, these are things we know, and I've talked about them before, but I'll just show you because when we see the research behind some of these, it's very interesting. So the first factor is the foods we're eating. The second factor is the toxins that we're being exposed to. And the third factor is the disruption of the microbiome. There's that big word again, right? You've heard me talk about microbiome. And we're going to hear a lot about this microbiome stuff because the research is just coming up now. I mean, it's been in our bodies for the longest time, but now people are discovering there are so many things that are affected when your microbiome is disrupted. So let's talk about the first thing, is foods. Now, food is something I've talked about many times. This is things that, we're being introduced, or we're introducing so many different toxic chemicals and weird GMOs and modified foods, ultra-processed foods in our bodies, that when you put that in your body almost considers it foreign. So it launches what? An immune reaction towards it. You put those preservatives and chemicals, and again, a GMO product, your gluten, all these things are things that your body does not like in some ways, so it starts creating an immune reaction towards it. Now, when you have that going on for a long period of time, what happens? Well, then your immune system, the way I said, starts going a little haywire and starts attacking the body. The second thing is the toxic chemicals we're exposed to from the jet fuel. We never heard about some of these things, but jet fuel that, in the environment, the chemicals, the fertilizers, the stuff that we put on our bodies and in our bodies are crazy toxic. Now, these things are also leading to a lot of different things. The first and foremost, which everybody's familiar with, is the BPA and the phthalates. Now, you might have heard of these things. The plastic water bottles, right? They say don't drink water from a plastic water bottle. Why is that? Because plastic has something called BPA. Now, that leaches into the water, and when you drink that, it's going into your body. Bad things, right? So why is that a bad thing? What's this BPA stuff? BPA is known to be what's called a neurogenesis inhibitor. Neurogenesis means the cells in our brains are constantly developing, especially for young kids. When you talk about young babies and young children and all these things, their cells are rapidly multiplying, things are growing in them. Even for adults, all our cells die and multiply, or some die, new ones are formed all the time. But if you have something that disrupts that process, what happens then? Well, you have all these other different issues that happen, right? Especially for kids. You have this ADD, autistic spectrum diseases. All these things that are showing up in high levels now is because of some of these things we're just introducing into our bodies. And number 3, talk about this big thing again, is your microbiome. The microbiome is all the bad and the good bacteria that's found all over us. From our skin to our mouths to our nose, our intestines. We only hear about the good bacteria in the gut, right? They talk about this probiotic stuff. This good and bad bacteria are all over us. We are a whole microbiome of bacteria and things going on. Now, the first things is the digestive process. That's one big thing now that's being disrupted because of course, the foods and stuff we're eating, or maybe things that are not, your body does not like, we keep introducing into our bodies. The mouth is the first microbiome. You know, we've said that there's over 20 billion or 20 million different kinds of bacteria that are found in your mouth, because that's where your digestive process starts, with the saliva as well. So when you put stuff in there, there's things that are helping break things down, things that are attaching onto it, and then it goes into your gut. People are taking proton pump inhibitors, acid blockers, and all that. So half the time, even some of those bad bacteria that are in your mouth go into your gut. Because you don't have acid to kill them, it goes right into your small intestine and starts disrupting the whole microbiome in your gut. Now, why is this whole gut thing important? Why is everybody talking about foods and gut and gut? Because we also know 80% of your immune system lies in our gut, right? This is where, and then the other thing is that your gut has more neurons and nerves than your brain. So it is, you know, they say it's the second brain. Well, the gut can actually be called your first brain, because a lot of processes happen there. You've heard me talk about neurotransmitters. These are some of the chemicals that are found in the brain that signal everything in the body. Well, most of these neurotransmitters are formed in your gut. Your glutamate, your dopamine, serotonin, all those things are formed in the gut because they're actually used by your gut as well, not just the brain. So we need to really take care of some of these things. If we are not, what's happening now is a lot of crazy, you know, we're noticing our health are deteriorating, chronic diseases are on the rise. Autoimmune conditions are known to be the third largest killers in the industrial world, apart from your cancers and your heart disease. Third largest. So that is something that we really need to pay attention to. We already take care of our hearts, and you know, we watch for some of these cancers. Well, autoimmunity actually even causes a lot of these cancer issues, because when your body does not recognize foreign cells that are multiplying more than they should, what happens? It's not attacking those guys, so the cells multiply more and you end up with cancer. So that is why the gut is very important. So these are a few things that I took away. Now, we in our office do a lot of different things for this. You've heard me talk about all these food sensitivities and all that. So we don't guess, we test. That's the saying we have in our office. We do food sensitivity testing. We do something called a SIBO test. SIBO is your small intestine bacterial overgrowth. When you have overgrowth of some of that stuff, it causes all sorts of disruptions, as we talked about. And we also do stools analysis to find out what kind of bacteria or what is going on in your gut itself. So there's a lot of different things that need to be done. Now, just because people say, oh, I'm taking a probiotic every day, it's not going to heal your gut. There are a lot of different processes. There's probiotics, prebiotics, symbiotics. There's so many different things. And again, I learned of so many of these new things that people always think, oh, just because I'm taking a probiotic, I'm going to be healthy or my gut's going to be healthy. Well, what you need to understand is there's a whole process behind this thing. You need to identify what's going on with the gut through all the testings we just talked about, and then we need to remove some of these bad guys, because if you just put in the good guys and there's already a higher number of the bad guys, it's not going to do much for you. So you have to remove the bad guys, reflourish it with the good guys, and allow it to thrive a little better. And there's, again, a process behind some of this stuff. Watching your diet, watching certain things. Food sensitivities, as I said, is huge, because if you're always putting foods that are not right for your body in some ways, your body just does not function the right way. So those are a few things that we do in the office. If you want some more information, definitely call our office. We'll show you exactly how we help people correct or at least control and reverse some of these autoimmune conditions just by taking care of these things all naturally. We need to test to find out what's going on, and then we can correct it in a whole different way. So I hope some of this information has helped. I know it's a lot of information and it's a little long-winded, but I was just excited to share it with you because I learned so much over the weekend. Even though I thought I knew a lot about it, there's just so much more research going on. As I said, this microbiome is gaining a lot of popularity, and there's a lot of research coming out soon about this. So it's just something that we really need to start paying attention to, so we can actually control or help reverse some of this. Alzheimer's, MS, Hashimotos, you name it. Why are we seeing so much of them? We didn't see those a few years back. So let's take charge of these things. Let's find out, how we can correct these things, and let's spread the word. So again, if you found this information helpful, please send it to somebody that might, benefit from these things. A lot of people don't understand this or don't know what's going on. All you think about is, well, you have an autoimmune condition, you're going to take a biologic, a drug that's going to help suppress your immune system to help you feel better. Well, that's just a point of what's going on in the body. So we need to correct it as a whole. So again, hope it's helped. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. and call our office. We can set you up with a free consultation to sit down with me and talk and see how we can help you with this stuff. And as always, share this. All right? Again, hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.